American football in Finland.
The voice in your ears and the face on your screen. I'm Perfect Purvis, and this is American Football in Finland. Today, joined by my co-host, Coach Q. What up, Q?
What up? What up? What's going on? We back.
Yeah, we like what 2 days late, but we here. We have to deal with our schedule, guys. So we're trying to do this when we can. But the AFF podcast is available everywhere you listen to your podcast. You can see us visually here on YouTube. Wherever you listen to watch, be sure to subscribe, follow, and like us. Anyone who listens or watches but doesn't hit that subscribe button, you are a hater. But that's cool. We'll get on with the show anyways. We turn haters into fans, all that stuff. All right, it is first down. We're gonna talk a little bit about what's going on in the world. I feel like I have the topics. There's two topics that I think that we definitely want to talk about. Actually, I'm gonna throw in a third one because it's something that just happened today that I noticed. Okay, first topic. Let's get off of football. Did you see the thing about LeBron James being in the Hall of Fame while he's still playing basketball?
No.
Like, yeah. So yeah, I just saw this today on my feed. The 2008 Olympic USA team that was called the Redeem Team.
Yeah.
They were inducted into the Hall of Fame. So there's like memes going around about LeBron James got inducted into the Hall of Fame while he's still playing, and he's still like a top 25 player and he's 40. Because him and Chris Paul both are still playing, and they both got inducted as part of that team.
But is that the NBA Hall of Fame though? Would that be part of it?
Yeah, the Naismith, the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. So like, basically, they're in for being part of that team, but they gave him all gold jackets, so he has Hall of Fame jacket because he was on that team. So, like, once they retire, he can get, like, the individual, him and Chris Paul, because they probably both going to go into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just thought it was interesting because, I woke up this morning, I see on my feed, only LeBron James could be inducted into the Hall of Fame while he's still playing. I'm like, what? Like, I, looked it up and read, the story. Like, okay, all right. Yeah. He did that. Because they're coming up for any reason for LeBron James to be, like, the GOAT now. So you see a lot of random stuff, like, LeBron James, the only person that's 39 years old in 2 days to score 2 points on his left foot. Like, they come up with everything. So I was just wondering what that was. Okay, that was the first. I'll throw that out there. But next thing that we got to talk about, obviously, probably is like the Elf Championship. That was this weekend, right? Did you see it? Did you watch it?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
The Vikings blew it, man. They was up. They was up 17-7. And I know one thing, this receiver that Stuttgart got, Geyer, or whatever his name is, he went off. So, I think he had like 3 touchdowns, like, receiver went off. But he been going off all year. But the Vikings, for some reason, played man-to-man on him for something. I was like, that was a terrible idea because he was out there killing. And, I think they didn't adjust their defense at all, and it hurt them in the end because they just couldn't stop them. So, that sucked though, man. I wanted the Finnish boys to come home with a championship, man. So
it happens.
I didn't watch it,
obviously. Yeah,
it's done from what I see now. So
there's 11 teams in the EFA that said they're going to do their own thing in 2026. Yeah, and I also saw something online about, the ELF plans to just keep going. Because technically those teams are technically like under contract until 2026. So the ELF is basically looking for other teams to join, but also still expecting some of those teams to come back. And I think it's going to be, depending on how those teams like set up their teams. Like basically, I think like if they set it up as like different entities, they can just do their own thing. But if they set it up as a certain entity that's like tied to that league, they'd have to like change their team name, licenses, and all that stuff. They'd have to go elsewhere. So once teams figure that out, I think probably like half of those teams are gonna probably end up going back to the ELF just because it just don't make sense to try to start all over. But then the ELF is gonna just keep doing what they've been doing, finding new teams to give a little bit of cash flow until you can make it to the next one.
Come on. That's true.
I think they got like this next 2026 is going to be a crazy year because I think there's going to be situations where there's like ELF teams, EFA teams, GFL teams, and then random European teams all playing like at the same time against each other. There's no regulation for ITC cards, stuff like that. Like IFAF really doesn't have a hold on a lot of these leagues. So it's going to be a whodunit next year. So yeah, and you know, if y'all need a coach, Coach Q out here, you know, he ready to do something.
I'll let him.
All right. Last thing I wanted to talk about on first down is probably the most exciting game I saw of the weekend, the Brit Bowl, where our co-host Chris Green finally 19 years he said it took him to win a championship, win that Brit Bowl championship. But congratulations to him. Spencer Cutland, the Bristol Aztecs beat the London Warriors. I watched that game because it was more interesting than the game in Porvoo on Sunday. Was it Sunday? Sunday. I left the Porvoo game at halftime. But yeah. Anything you want to say about that one?
Hey, no, that was a real good game, man. For the people that got to watch it, that was actually a real good championship game. And I know Chris. I think Chris said he's been waiting a long time to get that championship. So it was entertaining. Just good. Just two teams that like weren't like I don't know people that keep up with British football, but the games that I've seen, a lot of the talent is equal in championship games. So it was good to watch him and see Chris get a championship and it also be an exciting game because the game we were watching wasn't that exciting. So it was good to watch that and see them win that championship. So shout out to them for getting it done.
And I don't know if we have any UK followers or anything, or maybe if Chris shares it with somebody, but I'm sorry. I pretty much the only times I've watched the UK games is when Chris sends us a link and they're playing like the London Warriors because I know it's like a big game.
Yeah.
Why do they keep ordering these black and white jerseys like that look like they like little like not Sharks. Even I'm sorry, little league teams have better jerseys than what the London Warriors be going out there with. That is crazy. Like it's not even like they're not even like plain black and white. It's like black and white with a little like gray, like faded thing behind the letter on the white part. But the numbers are like this big, and it looks bad on adults. And it just looks like, come on, guys, that costs what, €5? 10 euros and get a decent little league jersey. Like it is crazy. And then the Aztecs out there and all on orange.
Clean.
Chris Green out there at it with the orange, with the orange spat. And like the Aztecs is out there looking good. A1. Hats off to them. I liked it when they revealed the orange earlier in the season and everything. But London Warriors, let's get that together, guys. London Warriors are a great franchise out there in the UK. They've won multiple Brit Bowls. They're accustomed to winning. I mean, even in that game, it looked like they were going to win until, it came down to what it came down to. But they just got to get those jerseys together, man. They got to get those jerseys together. But, yeah, that'll be it for first down. Let's get into it now. It's fun. I think it went 3 times. I was trying to stop it, but let's get into helmet stickers from the playoffs. Let's talk a little bit about some of the performances. I felt like as I was doing this, I was going through the helmet stickers. I was just like, I don't want to talk about this. Y'all know what we want to talk about. But I will stick to the I will stick to it though. We're gonna stick to it. I came up with some names. You got any 1 stars? I got names for all of them, so just let me know.
You go. I'm gonna let you handle this. I'm gonna let you handle this.
Yeah,
today,
that's what I
didn't even
thought.
think about stickers at all.
Don't
Like,
Okay, so I'm gonna go down my list. One sticker performances. Actually, Sarah Ninen from the Crocodiles had an interception in that game. He played pretty good. I don't know what the stats was about, but I'm basically giving him a sticker for making a big play. Also going with Tylen Riley Coleman. Again, he played great as he normally does, but I think he's the one that blocked the field goal in that game. That's why I wanted to give him a sticker. I think his hand is the hand that blocked that field goal, and that really was clutch when it happened. Another guy, let's go from the Butchers. I'm going to go Simon Otto, the cornerback, number 9. He had an interception. I'm giving stickers for interceptions. Mickey J, he had an interception. I'm giving stickers for interceptions. 1 sticker I'm giving to Lucas Arola. Now, I know I guess throughout the game, Lucas Arola racked up a lot of receptions and yards because it says he has 7 receptions, 179 yards. Let's remember, after it was 28-0, I stopped paying attention. Like I was trying to figure out how I'm getting home, what I'm gonna do later today, how do I get on this Brit Bowl game? Like I was done. So at that point, he hadn't done nearly he had done a decent amount, but he hadn't done 179 yards. That's why I only gave him 1 sticker. And I go look at the stats, like, oh crap, he made a lot happen in that second half or in the third quarter or something. I don't know. But what I saw was he caught 1 really, really good pass, and then he caught another pass. He caught 2 passes that I saw, but I thought one really set them up. Like he caught one where it just kind of got them. I think it was a 3rd and super long, and he caught a deep ball in the middle, and it set them up to move the ball when they needed to be stopped to keep the game close. He kind of just helped them break it open. So that's why I gave him a sticker. Now I'm gonna go to my 2 stickers. Let's go. Zach Wright gets 2 stickers. Pick 6. I mean that by itself could be 3 stickers, but I gave him 2 stickers because I seen him slip on the opening kickoff return. I don't care the grass was wet. He ran out there, slipped on the very first return. You're only getting 2 stickers. Can't give you 3 for that. Just not good enough for 3. But he did get the pick 6, so it was a pretty good performance. Other guys I got on 2 sticker performances, Brandon Kyles, quarterback from Crocodiles. He had a really good game, threw for 180-something yards, 2 tutties, also rushed for a touchdown. We'll talk about how the game went, but I think that he played a very good game and controlled that offense for them in situations that they needed him to do. Another guy I'm giving 2 stickers to, Eustace Vertanen, receiver from the Crocodiles. I didn't know his stats before I gave him the stickers, but he had 5 receptions, 102 yards, and 1 touchdown. All I know is on that touchdown, he was getting draped on one side. He put out the other arm, grabbed his balls. Yes.
Yeah, great catch.
He was getting 2 stickers for that. Like, that was why you get 2 stickers, because that's just one hell of a play. And they needed them points, too. Another guy I got on here, Charles Acano, just for wrecking havoc like normal. I think it says that he had 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. I don't know where they get these stats from, but he had a great game. So I'm giving him 2 stickers. Also, I'm going to go with Kahari Lane, quarterback from Steelers. I think he played a damn near perfect game. Yeah, it says he had 282, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Trying to remember Siren got the interception. So, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. He had 39 yards rushing. He was just really clutch in this game to me. I feel like he was able to put the ball everywhere they needed to. We'll talk about the game about, he's probably missing a touchdown, and we know what happened there, but I won't talk about it now. Just giving out stickers. Stickers. Next guy I'm going to give 2 stickers to, Christian Arambide. He was 12 for 18, 260 yards, had a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. He did his normal, like, Superman type thing, really controlled the game. Liked him scoring early with his legs so that the defense kind of had to be aware of that from the beginning of the game. I mean, but then it got out of hand. But, yeah. But it was really good performance by Arambide. Now I'm gonna go to my 3 sticker performances. I'm rushing through this so we can get to it. Now this 3 sticker, I feel like the stats just don't match up to what I saw. But Ethan Greenfield, he had 64 rush yards, but he had 76 receiving yards.
Yeah.
So he had 164 all-purpose. When I saw he had 64 rush yards, I was like, that's not what it looked like in the game. But I did have to remember that in the second half, they were throwing him screens.
Yeah.
And he was getting like 10 a pop, but they were receiving yards and like really you're just running. So
yeah, a lot of
I think that a lot of yak. And I think like him this game, he really like led them to what what should have happened in the game. And we'll talk about it later. But that's why I'm giving a 3-star performance.
I did have a 3 sticker though.
Oh, okay. For who?
For the SAJL referees. 3 sticker game for the referees. Like this is like I rarely try to critique referees.
Which game?
The Crocs game.
Okay.
Yeah, the Crocs game. They were like, I mean, I know stuff happened in the midst of like the game and all that stuff, but like you just can't like. It wasn't a catch, but I know we're gonna talk about this when we talk about the games. But like this, if you're gonna call,
that's why I was like, you gave him 3 stars. I was like, 3 stickers. Okay, all right.
Yeah. If you go, if it's because it seems like it's always against the Crocs or when the Crocs are playing that they make these just bogus calls, and it's like the fumble against the Roosters that could have changed the game against the Roosters. They got wrong, early whistle, whatever they call, and then this non-catch. Crocs, I know y'all probably gonna see this. Everybody with 2 eyes or 1 eye can see that was not a catch. I seen it slow motion, fast, everything. That was not a catch. It wasn't even close to a catch. So for them to even call that a catch was just crazy anyway. But yeah, 3 stickers for SAJL refs.
Here's my question with the call. I mean, I guess we'll talk about it later, but really were any of the officials in position to see it? And that's the question. It was downfield. It could have been behind the refs, which means they don't have the angle to actually make a call. And then the ref that's in the end zone, that ref can't see the ball until it shows. And behind the ball, they still can't see because they're so far away. It's one of those calls where if you're gonna stick with it, stick with it. And I think that's what all they were doing was like, we're gonna stick with it because we really couldn't make the call. But it does bring into question, video review type of stuff. Could we do that type at some point?
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2025. We really should be able to do that pretty much everywhere. I'm gonna do my last 2 guys. 3 sticker performance, Deontay Step. 30 attempts, 185 yards, a touchdown, 217 all-purpose yards. I mean, I said it before and I'll say it again. You know what he's gonna do, but you can't stop him. And it is what it is. Like there's just like he's gonna get his no matter what. And you're gonna have to take it. And that's what the Steelers had to do. And he did it again. Last guy I'm gonna talk about here, and I'd like to talk a little bit more about him later. Christian Powell, 151 yards, 3 touchdowns, and pretty much I think that all happened in the first half when I was watching. Like he was immaculate. Like he got the ball, he broke free, he got him downfield, he scored touchdowns. Like he looked like he in so prime condition. Like he don't even look tired. And I looked at the depth chart after the game when I'm going through the stats or whatever. They don't even have a backup on the roster. Like they just don't even put anybody as a backup on the depth chart behind them. Like that's crazy. I know that their original backup got hurt or something, but they're like, you know what? Don't worry about it. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna keep him fresh. He can catch a couple passes, run a little bit, get some yards, and next thing you know, he get 100 or something. I don't even think they planned for this dude to get 100 yards a game. I think he just does it off of like 6 or 7 carries, and they're like, well, that's that. Let's move on to another position and start throwing it over here.
Christian Aaron Bida is their backup running back.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what he looked like at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting 100 some yards. It's crazy. And it was a really good game. Like he played really well, really early. But also kudos to the Butchers line. There were holes against the Roosters very early in that game. He got through those holes, but also he did break a lot of tackles, and then he used a little bit of it, not a little bit, but he used his speed a few times where you could really see him separate from defenders. Excuse me. So that's gonna be the sticker performances. Let's get into the win or loss, man. That's gonna be an interesting segment. All right, we know what technically happened on the playoff semifinals, but let's explain which teams won or lost their games. You know what? Let's flip it around in the order the games went, and let's just go with the Sunday game first. Butchers versus Roosters. Who won or lost this game? Quick synopsis. Why?
Butchers won this game hands down. Like we said, it was just I felt like they were a better team overall.
Yeah.
Some people thought different. And that's the thing. It's like when you're a fan, I think sometimes you like just always gonna go for your team. And I understand that. I understand that the history of these two teams and what they mean and all that stuff. So but in like as a football analyst or whatever you want to call this, like I want to say expert,
we're enthusiasts. We're not experts. We're enthusiasts.
We know the game, and
that's the word we're using.
When one team is better than the other one, you know if this team is playing their A game and this team is playing their A game, which team will probably come out on top. And I think this was like one of those games. The Roosters digressed pretty much the rest of the season to me. I don't think they got better on offense after, and I'll say this, after Renee Ralston left, that offense changed. It changed. And Ambrose didn't have the best year, definitely didn't have the best game, but he owned up to it, and he knows that, you the quarterback, you take responsibility for what your offense does and doesn't do. You know what I mean? If you take the highs, you got to also take the lows, and I know he'll probably bounce back and go back and work harder, coming back the next season. But he started this game off putting his team in a bad predicament against a good team. You can't start the game off with a pick six and just turning the ball over and giving this team points that they didn't even really earn for the most part. The offense didn't earn it, but you gave it to the defense, and now you're down 14-0 real fast in a crucial game, in which your passing game isn't that consistent enough to even put yourself in that predicament. So the Butchers won. They look well prepared, well coached, just like they were on a mission, and they looked like that all season. So yeah, Butchers won the game. I mean, it's nothing else to really say about that. They looked better in this game. They looked like they wanted more. They had more effort. Like everybody was just hyped up on their team. They seemed like they just wanted this game more than the Roosters did, and it showed. Like I think what I said last week is this is a new era of Roosters, and the old Roosters that we're used to seeing. If things happen to them, they don't put their heads down. They don't ever think they're out of it. I think this is a new generation of Rooster players where they have to learn that culture. They have to learn that, being down 14 points is bad, but it's not knocking you out completely. And it just seemed like it kind of took the air out of them once they got down. And, they didn't look like they wanted it. I'll say that. They didn't look like they wanted it. You can watch the film. The film don't lie. And it was just not a good game for them. And the Roosters played a bad game. And the Butchers just played a hell of a game on offense and defense.
Yeah, I agree with 100%. Butchers just played much better game. I'm going to talk a little bit about this because at least this game went. I mean, it was exactly what we thought it would be on paper. Like I told people before this game, obviously we've talked to a lot of people like off the podcast because this game, a lot of people were asking, like, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? And I was in Portland too, so I was able to talk to people before the game. And I just told everybody the same thing that I thought was going to happen. I was like, it's going to go one or two ways. On paper, Butchers are much better. So it's either going to go exactly like we think. The Butchers are going to line up, run through them. Or the Roosters are going to come out with something. They got to come out with something extra. They either got to play with a different type of regression. They have to come out with a different scheme. They have to do something different than what we've seen. And that could, slow down the onslaught. I think me and you even talked about it. Even if they kept it close, they probably still weren't going to win this game because there's just too much to overcome. But there was things that they could have done to keep it close. They didn't do those things. It wasn't close, and that's just kind of how it went. And I think it's one of those games where, like you said, this Roosters team that we saw this year, they faced adversity. They never stepped up to adversity. We saw them this year. Like when things went bad, that was it. This is not a team looked at and like, oh yeah, they're going to be able to fight and keep it close until the fourth, and then make it. No, they're of the four teams that made the playoffs, they're the only team that we're with. If we had all four of those teams and we said, okay, you have the ball, you have 2 minutes to drive the field to win the game, they're the only team that we're going to look at and say, nah, that ain't going to happen. Because they've never showed us that they could this season. While all those other playoff teams, and we'll talk about the other two teams later, you legitimately say, hey, they can probably, against anybody in this league, they probably can go down there and score if they have to. Like they have the personnel, they just got to figure it out. Like with the Roosters, we never felt like that. And that's not even a knock on their personnel. It's not a knock on the coaching. It's just the reality of where they are. Does that make sense? Like I have to be more, like you said, there's hope and there's reality. And the reality is they're a good team, not a great team. My daughter told me that earlier today, that I was good, great at something. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to use that later. So, I mean, and that was just the case is when a good team plays a great team, it looks a lot different. We've seen it, especially like watching like NFL teams play nowadays where you have let's go back to Sunday night. What was it? The Bills and the Ravens.
Yeah.
I mean, those two are not the same situation, but it's a situation that is for my generation and your generation is very reminiscent of how all those matchups between like the Chargers and the Patriots were back in the day.
Yeah.
Back when Phillip Rivers and LT played for the Chargers, and they just kept getting to New England or Indianapolis, and they just couldn't get over the hump. That's where the Ravens were. The Ravens are in the same situation. They either can't beat the Bills or they can't beat the Chiefs. Like because they just haven't got over that hump. And I think that's where the Roosters are kind of heading. I think the same team that they have, they bring back the same team in the future. I know we're kind of like talking like, oh, the season's over because after this, we probably won't talk about the Roosters. So I'm taking this time to like talk about their whole season. Going forward, if they bring back, pretty much same personnel, I think they'll still be a good team, but they have to get over the hump. And just this year, we didn't see that. There was never that moment where you're like, okay, they turned it on. Somebody stepped, like they have not had that this year. And I feel bad because I don't really see how you get over the hump with this type of culture and team that they have. I think Ambro is a great young talent, but his talent doesn't outwork effort. And that's what it is right now. Like their effort isn't there. Like I don't think that when we're watching them, like you said, can't have that many turnovers. They had 3 turnovers in the first quarter. I think it was 3 interceptions in the first quarter I saw. Was it the first quarter? No, two interceptions in the first quarter, three in the first half. Because they were going the other way when Mickey got his interception. So so 3 interceptions in the first half. It's one of those things of I don't think that the interceptions were on purpose. One of them you can blame on the receiver slipping on the grass, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, there's no urgency. There's no
Mhm.
urgency with the team of like we have to win. We have to be better because they kind of expect it, but it's an entitlement, not a we worked for it. It's a we expect to be good because we are who we are. And I think until they get in one of those situations where they prove it, they'll always this is where we're going to be looking at for the Roosters in the future is that if you get a situation again, I know I'm being a little like large picture. If you get a situation like last year where you are better than some teams, yeah, you're going to win. But if you get a situation like this year where you're just not better than these teams on paper, and you got to pull something from your fire, like the other team that just played another semifinal did, they ain't got it. Like I don't see anybody that has it. Like as a whole, there's not like a person or a position group that I'm looking at on a rooster. I'm like, okay, well, if we put it in their hands, we like you said, I think Renee Ralston might have been the guy. Like
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like if he would have stayed, and I feel really bad like saying that this like 17-year-old kid is the reason they like
He
aren't living
made a
up to their
difference though.
potential.
Yeah, he made a
Yeah,
difference. Though.
but
Yeah.
and it goes to like maybe it doesn't have to be him per se, but that type of player is what you need is someone that can help your offense be explosive to the point where he was making plays where maybe it wasn't in the playbook that play was going to be great, but he made it great. They don't have a lot of that going on the offensive side, and your quarterback is not playing at a level that helps you like that. Like Ambrose proved last year, like, yeah, you put great players around him, he can get them the ball. But what if you don't have great players around him? Like he's not going to be able to elevate his talent around him, which some people have said it. It means you might want to go another way, Roosters. But that's not here nor there. Roosters lost, but the Butchers deserve to win. Let's go to the next game. What was it? Kuopio Steelers played against the Crocodiles, Senio Crocodiles. Now, where do you feel? I want you to say it, then I'm gonna say it, and then we're gonna talk because we got to get this out here. Did the Crocodiles win this, or did the Steelers lose this game?
You know what? I'm gonna say the Crocodiles won this game, and obviously they did. But when I think of like plays away from like the incomplete pass they called a catch, and like it was certain times like when Sip had the run and was that the fourth quarter? I think it was the fourth quarter. Like
When
it
they were
was
on their
like
side,
certain,
he had the long run.
yeah. It's like certain plays. Um, I feel like they kept themselves in a game that I didn't think they were going to be in. Honestly, I didn't think the Crocs were going to be in this game. So,
Yeah.
And that's just my opinion. I just didn't think like I thought like the way that it looked early, it looked like Corpio was about to like take over this game, and like it was going to be a struggle for the Crocs because they wouldn't have been able to run the ball back. They wouldn't be able to run themselves back in the game, and the Crocs actually, hit big on some passes and like they made the plays they needed to make to keep themselves in the game. That's why I feel like the Steelers, they should have never let it come down to referees making decisions like that, or having referees to have to make decisions like that. Obviously, it's a playoff game, but I thought the Steelers were a little bit better than the Crocs going in this season. I just did. I think like overall as a team. But the Crocs made the plays they needed to make with the help of the refs. Like I mean, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like the Crocs just beat the Steelers because they didn't. The timeout, the calling timeout, but realizing they didn't have a timeout and then giving them time, like there was just a horrible ending for the referees. Like,
isn't that supposed to be like an automatic like 10-second runoff or something?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a runoff. Like they're supposed to have 5 seconds at the most. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, the refs, they just cannot have games like this. Like I wish Finland would go into maybe trying to figure out how to have some kind of replay because this game was sloppy on the ref side at the end of the game. Like it was just terrible. Um, but even without that, like I said, sometimes you want to put yourself in a position where you don't leave it up to decisions like that. The Crocs, it went the Crocs' way this time. Um, and I'm sure for Crocs fans and for Crocs players, they've been on the losing side of a lot of stuff over the years, and I'm sure they probably like, shoot, it's as good as going our way, finally. but
Finally.
but yeah, I'm gonna say the Crocs won, just because of that. They came into this game, they made it a closer game than I expected. So yeah, Crocs won. It's nothing, and the reason I say that too is because it's nothing Corpio could have did about those calls. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that
I respectfully disagree because and I want to use, we'll go back and forth about all the things of, again, respect to the Crocs for stepping up in those plays. Like you said, they really stepped up in situations where you were like, it's not gonna work out. But from my point of view, obviously, again, we're just doing opinions. The Steelers let it get to the point where the referees could determine it. Let's just go over all the different situations.
Yeah.
First situation, we're going for 2 points when we can just kick a field goal. Like that first time, that why are we going for 2? Let's just kick the field goal. Pecker and then can kick. I think maybe the ball is they did have the one snap that was bad, so maybe you're like, we don't want to chance it. But honestly, I would have chanced it. Because you still didn't get any points from the 2-point play. And then there wasn't a good play to do. It was a trick play. Like, what? I mean, I would have lined up and did something simple where I know I was going to get an easy completion. Kahari played a great game. Why not let him do his thing? Like, that's a bad decision. That's one way they lost the game. Because now, if you make that extra point, instead of the Crocodiles going down and scoring and kicking an extra point, they got to go for 2. Mm-hmm. They have to go for 2, and you put the onus on them to beat you. And that's what you want to do. Okay, that's one reason they lost. Like, I have a list of them. Second reason they lost. Let's go into the overtime. No, let's not go to overtime yet. Let's go to the end of the game. Now, at the end of this game, like you said, the referees did blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But let's get into this. Did the Steelers defense do anything to stop the Crocs with less than 2 minutes left? Like, you just let them go down the field. Yeah. Like, now, did Eustace catch the ball? I don't know, nor do I care. But I tell you this much: if the defenders had been closer to him, we know he didn't catch the ball. But y'all was 18 feet away from him, and the ref saw him in the ball. I mean, what you gonna do? Y'all over here doing this, and you nowhere near him. Like, that's the second part of the game where you could have stopped them. Like, I'm sorry, they drove the whole damn field in the last 2 minutes of the game. If you don't feel like ass for letting that happen, because again, they hadn't done that the whole game. Like, nowhere in this game they drove the whole field on y'all. And when it counted most, you gave up the butt. It's one of those situations where you got to be able to step up in those difficult situations. That's the difference between good and great, is being able to step up in those situations. And that defense did not step up in those situations. Now, that's two reasons I think they lost. Now let's get into the overtime. First mistake. First mistake of the overtime. You don't give Ethan Greenfield the ball. You don't give the man the goddamn ball. After seeing what we saw from the Crocodiles in the Maple Bowl last year, if you have Christian Powell, Ethan Greenfield, Deontay Sip on your team, you don't go any possessions without giving them the ball. I don't care if you just say hut and hand it to them and don't block. I don't care. But you give them the ball. I'm sorry.
Got to.
I'm getting a little upset about that.
No, you got
because
to. You're right.
It's irking me just thinking about that because let's go back and obviously like that's the third way that they lost the game. But let's go back and look at this game. In the first half, it was pretty tight. I think it was tied at halftime, wasn't it? Was it tied at halftime? Yeah, 14-14.
That was close. Yeah.
But in the second half, there was a noticeable shift. What happened was the Steelers started calling a much better offensive game. They started finding ways to get the ball to people. When they started doing that 4 wide and doing a little screen to Ethan Greenfield, I was like, genius. And then when they got the touchdown, remember you're like, why would they not do? They were doing that same play up and down the field. So then when they do the fake, it works. Like you set it up. Like that's what you want when you're play calling. You want, there to be rhyme and reason. Okay, we're doing this play. And he was getting like 10 yards a pop. So the Crocs had to adjust to that play. So when you run the counter, it's going to be wide open. It was wide open. But then you get into the overtime and decide we're not going to give the ball to the guy that got us here. The guy that did everything we needed in this game. We're not going to hand him the ball. Now that's the third reason. But then we can go one step further. Fourth reason of how they lost this game is, okay, we're not going to hand the guy the ball. But we are going to throw a pass, a wide open pass, and we're not going to catch it. And
that hurt.
I mean,
that hurt.
Kahari Lane played the game of his life. Kahari Lane played a hell of a game. One hell of a game at quarterback. When he scrambled on that long play and got them down the field, I was like, okay, he in it to win it. He's here. They run a simple concept. Choate is wide open over the middle. He shows hands late. And I mean, catch however you want to catch it. That's on you. He showed hands late, but he didn't catch the ball. And now I'm thinking that same play could have been a run play, but I'm okay with it because it's a high percentage pass play. But you don't catch that ball. And again, I'm not going to blame somebody for not catching. I mean, it is what it is. But it is indicative of the difference between good and great. Great players don't make those mistakes. Great players make great plays. Great teams step up in great moments. This team was not trying to be great. So then that's that situation. And then another reason, and that's like 4 reasons that they lost, in my opinion. But I think another one was you go for the field goal, and I think they got the field goal blocked. And that actually ain't their fault. I think Riley Coleman did a really good job getting his hand up there and blocking the field goal. But yeah, I think those are the reasons I think they lost. I'm gonna leave it at that for the reasons why they lost, because that's a lot. That's a lot of like you had opportunities. It's different if I could only look back and say, oh, the referees messed up this call. Okay, then the other team probably did enough to get the win. Come on, man. Look at the sequence of things that happened at the end of this game.
Yeah.
The bottom fell out. That's what happened is when it came nut check time, they ain't had nothing in the sack. And that's what it looked like. Because
that's
decision making.
Sometimes in Finnish players, a lot of local players don't get to ever experience this. We've experienced it because we obviously played high school, played college, and I was telling my friends this other day. I said, "Do you know how hard it is to be good all the time?" Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like to like they don't have to fight for their positions either. See, when you gotta fight every like a whole spring to be the starter, plays like that are like nothing to you. You like you don't miss tackles in crucial points of games. You don't drop balls in crucial points of games because you've been trained. You train yourself mentally. I always have to show up. If not, the guy behind me is gonna play. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm not saying that's the reason why, but I could tell like it puts you in a different mentality where if you get into a game like that, something in the breadbasket or certain plays you just fail to like mess up on, and it's just you at another level. But yeah, I can see your point on why you say they lost it. So.
Just to jump in on that a little bit on the whole like making the big plays to to elaborate on your point a little bit is that okay? So let's just talk hypothetically that something like this happens. I don't want to be calling out the guy's name all the time, but let's say, okay, the receiver dropped the important pass. It's a big play. Okay, you got to move on. But here's the situation. There's no like next opportunity. It's more like well, that's that. We move on.
Yeah.
And like you said, where me and you were coming from, I've seen like you're playing on a team. I've been on a team where I get the ball, I play running back, I fumble, I don't play the rest of the game. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a coach tell me, you might as well pack up your stuff. I fumbled the ball in a spring game, and he was like, "You probably won't be here in the fall, bro.
Yeah, you'll
It's
never
not
play.
gonna
Yeah,
happen.
you'll never play it.
Like you'll never get in again."
Yeah.
And that it seems I've been here long enough that I understand the temperament of a lot of people, but when I say that, you're like, well, that's just crazy. No, that's the difference between good and great. Like that's the difference is that if you're good, and a lot of these players, a lot of these teams are good. Even when I'm saying for me in this game, the play calling in the overtime, even that was very like on brand for the finish mentality of I know what I did to get us here. So instead of me saying I trust that and my guy's gonna beat their guy, my scholarship, your scholarship is the term we use in the States. I'm gonna try to do something different because I want to play 4D chess instead of checkers. Sometimes the game is checkers, guys. Sometimes the game is checkers. Sometimes you just got to make one move.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think I think the Steelers were a really good team. I was 100% sure they're going to be in the Maple Bowl. I already started making like graphics and stuff for AFL. Like I was like, man, I got to go back and change things. Because I think they were the better team. I still think today they're the better team. But I do think that this is one reason why we love American football, because anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. And similar to what you were saying about the Butchers game is look at how they were playing in this game. Early in this game, I seen Brandon Kyle score a touchdown, and when he turned around, his whole body was like this because he was talking to somebody from the Steelers. And he was letting them know, like, you're not stopping me today. He was chirping. And you could tell, like, they had that energy. And then later in the game, I put it in the group chat, I seen Kahari Lane talking to the Crocs on the sideline, letting them know, like, hey, I'm making big plays. We in it to win it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it takes. And you got a few guys with that mentality, but those aren't the guys that have to make the winning plays. We know who got to make the winning plays. And those aren't the guys that I'm talking about that have that mentality. And again, I'm not trying to like be divisive and saying like, this player is better than that player, but the mentality of I'm going to do whatever it takes and no moment is too big, that is hard to find. That is hard to find. I mean, one thing for me, even with the whole like, was it a catch? Was it not a catch? Eustace Burton and got up, put the ball down, was like, let's run. I mean, that's great acting. Great acting. That's hard to get. Like,
but that's why the teams. That's why you got an 8-time. That's why you have 8-time champions in Finland. That's why the Butchers. Mm-hmm. That's why the Roosters. That's why they're always up there in those championship banners, is because they have guys that have been in them situations and made those plays. And like They understand what it means to be great when you have to be. And it's just Scorpio, obviously with the history of their organization now, they've been in some championship games and in some situations like that. But it's like this will be a ouch. This will be an ouch for them, because I really thought that Scorpio was a better team. And I definitely thought they were probably one of the only teams that would be able to match up with the Butchers. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely. It's over now, so it is what it is.
It is what it is. Man, I really want them to win that game too. But I'm happy for the Crocs. Like, good win on the Crocs, definitely.
I don't even want to say I'm happy for them, because it's like all right, Crocs, again, That's my first thought
Oh
right there.
man,
That's my first thought right there. I feel
don't
like a
do them
hater.
like that.
I feel like a
They
hater,
got.
man, because it's like even like if I had to say this team, like there's no way I think this team is better than what they had last year. That's what I'm gonna say first. I don't think
I see what you're
this team
saying.
is better than what they had last year. So the chances
Yeah.
of them, you know what I'm saying, proving me wrong, I just don't see it. But
Yeah.
let's talk anyway. Let's get to
Yeah, I
this.
mean, yeah, let's. I guess we're gonna get into it now. Let's do it. All right. So we're gonna talk Maple Bowl now. And since we're going to talk Maple Bowl, the way that we're going to do it this year is we're going to get into the different matchups in the game and go over a little bit of the rosters as well, throw out some names so people can hear them. And we'll start with the Crocodiles offense versus the Butchers defense. First position group I want to go, let's go Crocs receivers versus Butchers DBs. Now I'm gonna leave it to you to tell me who you think is winning the matchup. I'm gonna just do the leg work and tell everybody who's playing. For the Crocodiles, people we're looking at. You got your number one receiver, Eustace Vertinen. Got your number two receiver, Jabril Aliamane. And then you got everybody else on the roster. There's a Mahe Masalat, number 17, Ulyss Tuominiemi, number 22. I didn't look at anybody else because I don't think anyone else has caught a pass. So those are your receivers. Okay. That's who we got. That's who the Crocs got. We got to be honest. I guess you can throw in Deontay Sip, but he's more of a runner for them. Now let's go to the other side for the Butchers. You got your safety, Zachary Wright, Mickey J. Your nickel backer, sometimes safety, Nico Royko comes in there. Your corner, you got one corner for sure in Simon Otto, number 9. Showed up second half of the season. He'll definitely be on one side. And then on the other side, you're going to have a rotation. They got number 21, Yuso Hollonen. Number 22 came back, Topi Ahokalio. Number 20, Joseph Nasumba. He's back from injury. And then you had number 31 was getting in there last week as well, Otto Pispanen. Yeah. So you got two safeties, a corner, a rotating safety, and then they're filling in how they can on the other side for the corners. Going against two guys. I mean, from what you've seen so far this year, where's your head leading you and why?
Vertinen has had a great season.
Yeah.
Pretty much being the go-to guy for the Crocs. Made a lot of plays for them. But if the Butchers decide that they don't want him in the game, they can make that adjustment easy.
You think so? You do got to remember, Sip is still on the field.
No, I understand that. I understand that. I'm saying if you saying schematically, all they have to do is put Zach Wright on whatever side Vertinen is on. If they feel like he's that big of a threat, right?
I wouldn't even do that. I would put Mickey J over there. That man be floating.
That's what I'm saying.
Floating.
They could do that just for the pre-snap. Like you're not going deep over here. So you're going to have to either
I put Mickey over there so Zach can do the tackling because Zach is probably going to be better in the run game anyways. Yeah, you're right. I ain't thought about it like that. Yeah, but then you got to watch out for Jabril. You still got to watch out for Jabril.
No, I like if we lose because he's making plays, then I'll take that chance. But I'm not letting Vertinen be the guy that beats me, though. I'm not letting him do it.
Okay.
But also, I think they will. I think Vertinen will still make some plays.
Yeah.
I think he'll still get his dues just because he's just a good player. But if I had to just go off of like straight up defense, straight up coverage, I would say the Butchers could adjust. I won't say easily adjust to them, but I think the Butchers could adjust to where they don't hurt them the way that they've been hurting everybody else. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree with you. I think that the Butchers definitely they got the personnel to do it. And again, it's one of those situations. I'm gonna keep talking about it, I don't care. Just it's not a great matchup for the Crocs. Like it's just
yeah,
is like when you think about it, if you want to hurt this defense, you need to have three options at receiver, at least. And I mean, the Steelers had three. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll try not to go into it, but you said Eustace is still gonna make some plays,
yeah.
and this matchup it really depends on how big those plays are, and even more so for the receivers is what the quarterback does with the ball because we've seen this secondary be very opportunistic in turnovers. You got
Mm-hmm.
two of the guys with the with the most interception in the league are on this defense at the same time. So that's impressive, but it also means that their defense allows their safeties to make those type of plays. And we saw last
Mm-hmm.
week, Wright got his interception. He was just in man coverage. Guy was running an out route from the slot. He rolled down to guard the slot.
And
So like,
he knew it was an out.
yeah,
He knew
yeah, he knew it was
it.
out. Like,
Yeah.
and again, when he rolls down there, Mickey J is back there. Literally, I watched the interception when I watched the highlights after the game. He
Read
literally
it
just standing
perfectly.
there looking at the quarterback. He's just standing there looking at the quarterback. Quarterback eyes go here. Mickey J slides there. The ball is thrown. Mickey J is one fast guy. He never looked at a receiver. He never looked at a receiver. He looked at the quarterback, saw ball, got ball, and has the
Mm-hmm.
speed to go at least from hash to numbers, numbers to hash, either way. So he has
Mm-hmm.
the speed to do that 10 yards down the field. And then you have the other safety who can come down in the box, help you in the run game, and also lock down your slot receiver, who is your number two for the Crocs. This is a really good matchup for the Butchers in this one. So I'm definitely going with the Butchers on that matchup. Moving to the next one, let's go Crocodiles running back versus Butchers linebackers. So for the Crocs, we got Deontay Sip, and then for the Butchers, you got Jalen Todd, and then with him you have UC Makala, number 52, Yeti Pananen, number 43, and then rotating in you have Uko Pakanen, number 13. What are your thoughts?
I'm
I
going.
know
I'm
where I
going with
feel
the
about this
Bushes. As
one.
long as Jalen Todd is on the other side of the ball, I'm going with him. Sip is a good running back, but I think Jalen Todd is so good that the other supporting cast of backers will help.
Mm,
Like they will be around the ball enough for him to finish off plays. But he's a backer that reads real well
yeah.
and owns his territory. So I don't see it being. I don't see it. It's going to be a one-on-one thing sometimes, but I think Jalen Todd will win majority of those battles because he'll get there before Ship gets to going. And yeah, and I think the Crocs are gonna get their plays. They're gonna Sip is gonna gash. You know what I mean? But the big plays, I think the Butchers have so much speed on their defense that there aren't going to be any 60-yard runs and 70-yard runs on them. I just
Mm,
don't think it's going to happen. That's too many people that's got to miss a lot of tackles for it to happen. So I'm going with the Butchers on that one.
I'm I'm gonna go opposite. I'm going with the Crocs on this one. I believe in Sip with all my heart. It's crazy, but I do. And I think one thing that I haven't said much this year, but I'm gonna be, 100% honest and transparent. Even though I'm still going for the Butchers, like I'm all in, but I don't have much faith in those other linebackers. Um, Jalen Todd has to make the tackles, and he does. He makes all the tackles, and I think even in this game, he will make the tackles. But I don't think. I think when you're playing against Sip, and then you also have Brandon Kyles at quarterback. You're going to get some of that read action stuff. And Jalen Todd assesses the play quickly, but the slight hesitation that he's going to have sometimes is going to, I think it'll give Sip just enough so that Sip gets that extra yard or two that he needs. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, he's getting 8 yards a pop, but I think it's going to be a situation where Sip is getting 3. Sip is getting 4. He's getting 3. Oh, he gets 7 because Todd goes here. They get a block on Todd. There's going to be a lot of times where if I'm the Crocs, I'm working up to get to Jalen Todd. Like my scheme is when we're blocking, we need to get a hand on him. That's going to be enough for Sip. Like Jalen Todd, if no one's blocking him, one-on-one, I mean, scholarship, maybe he makes the tackle. I think he's a sure tackle. He can make the tackle. But if he's getting half blocked and he has to tackle Sip with one arm, I'm taking Sip every time. Or if he does bring him down, Sip's getting forward momentum. We're getting our 3 in a cloud of dust. And that's the only reason I think that I go Crocs, because I feel like they're really I think they're really set up for that. And I didn't name the other linebackers for the Butchers because from what I've seen this season, they've been non-existent. Like, Jalen Todd gets the ball, makes all the plays, but
I think Royko.
Yeah, if Nico Royko comes in and plays nickel or outside backer, that's different. Yeah,
I think it's
because he gets to the ball too.
It'll be set up for the pass, but it's going to help them in the run with him being down. You know what I mean? Like, obviously he's not what he used to be, but he's still somebody that knows football. He can read. He can still be around. So I think that'll help them. That's why I'm giving them the edge on that, because technically it's like they got 4 linebackers, or sometimes it's gonna seem like they got 4 linebackers. So but you got a good point though. I mean, Sip is
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, Sip ain't no joke. He's not gonna be an easy win. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I do, just to add to it too, is that it will depend on how they play. Because like I said, if you're looking at the Crocs and you're like, I'm not really afraid of 2 out of the 4 receivers, I'll walk it down the Sip. Like, I don't need too high. Do I really need too high? I just need one guy on the same side as Vertanen, like you said, right? And that turns your other safety into a linebacker. And whether that's Royko playing linebacker / nickel, or if you bring Zach Wright down, again, he can play in the box as well, but you can still guard the pass if you need to. It's not a great setup, but for group purposes, I do take Sip over their linebackers, who are technically like the regular linebackers. But moving to the next group, let's go Crocs O-line versus Butchers O-line. Now on the Crocs O-line, you got Miguel Makinen playing center, Tuomas Wittfeldt left guard, Ezekiel Williams right guard. That's the strength of their offense, is the interior lineman. But then on the left tackle, you got Mikko Raiola, number 78. Right tackle is the young kid Atu Kolinen, number 68. And then number 60, Etu Jokinen, is kind of backing up a couple of guys on the offensive line. Now, it's a pretty good offensive line, especially the interior. And the young guy, number 68, he's still coming into his own. But for the Butchers on the defensive line, up front, you got my guy, Jesse Vuoksentora. And then next to him, you have Noah Netti, Ronnie Podnanen. Yeah, that's how you say his name, number 95. And then on the edges, you got Atro Heinonen, number 99. And then Julius Vuoksentora, number 97, also plays on the edge. And then they rotate in Asko Payunen, number 90. There's a whole bunch of 90 guys. I always get them confused down there in the middle, too. There's a number 90. Yeah, there's 93, 95, 99. Everybody got 90 except for Jesse. But it's a good matchup, and they rotate their defensive line a lot, especially the ends. The ends rotate more than anybody that I've seen. What's your thoughts on this matchup? I mean, I think this is where the game is won.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty important for both teams. Honestly, how I think the Crocs probably have the edge on this one. I think the Crocs can handle the Butchers' defensive front. So how long they handle them, it will be important too. So yeah, Crocs got the edge on that one. They played a pretty good season. Sip has been able to get a lot of yards off of that O line, and they're not
Yep.
small. You know what I'm saying? They're not small. So I think it'll come down to probably how this game is going. If for some reason the Butchers aren't scoring a lot, and the offensive line can control how much Aaron B. gets on the field, if they, owning the Butchers D line and they can run the clock, then yeah, that'll be significant for the outcome of this game. But if the Butchers get up early and start scoring points, it ain't even gonna matter what the O line do. It's not even gonna matter because it's gonna get ugly real quick. So, but yeah, in that aspect, yeah, the Crocs got the edge as far as O line against the Butchers D line.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I went with the Crocs as well. I feel like with their interior, the way they have it, they're going to be able to, if not get a push in the run game, at least be able to hold up long enough for Brandon Cowles to, make something happen. And that's really all they really want to do. I mean, they got a good group going. And the Butchers rotate a lot of guys on their D line. So it's one of those situations of, I think situationally, the Butchers can win some certain matchups at a certain time. But overall, I think the Crocs are going to be able to, do what they want to running wise with that O line. Mm-hmm. So last one for the offense, let's go Crocs offensive coordinator versus Butchers defensive coordinator. For the Crocs, we have Artu Alto, young guy, calling the plays for them. And then for the Butchers, last year's head coach, Lassie Voipio. So what are your thoughts in this battle of wits? What do you like more? And if you don't want to, talk about the guys, let's go schematically. What do we like more? Crocs offensive scheme or Butcher's defensive scheme?
I'm going to go Butcher's defensive scheme because I don't think the Crocs offensive scheme is that. I mean, I don't think it's hard to coach against. I don't think they go out there and just, do 100 motions and doing misdirections and all that stuff. That's not their game, really. But the Butchers is one thing we do know is that they defense make plays happen. They get the ball. The one thing the Butchers defense does do, and that's give their offense chances to score. So, and that's factual. Just from the two people on their defense being in the top for interceptions, linebacker being in the top for tackles. But they just know how to get to the ball and get in the area of the ball. So Lassie, who I was able to play with for some years and coach with back in the 69er days, I know he knows football and he knows defense. And so he's going to put the Butchers in a situation to where they can be themselves, where they can roam and still make a lot of plays on that defense. And the Crocs really they're going to have to win the one-on-one matches down the field. And which they've been doing a good job at when they need to. They're just not all the time, but they can make the one-on-one plays. Like right now, playoffs is all or nothing. So you have to be confident that Vertinen and Alan, I can't say his last name.
Jabril. I just say Jabril.
Yeah, Jabril. They're going to have to be confident going up and making plays over Zach Wright. They're going to have to be confident going up, making plays when Mickey is in the area. This is something that you're going to have to be comfortable doing, and Brandon is going to have to put that trust in. He's going to have the trust in him. It's either going to go one way. Your guy's going to win or not. And you leave it all on the field in these games. You give your players the opportunity to make the plays, and that's what it's going to come down to. It's just going to come down to who do we think are better. It is better, and is it my guy, your guy? So.
You know what I'm thinking when you're saying that, when you're talking about Brandon? As soon as you said Brandon's going to have to, trust his guys, my head said, yeah, that's right. He's going to have to trust them. My heart said, nah, F all that, buddy. Do what you got to do.
Say run it.
Run it. If you got to run it, you got to trust your legs. Trust you.
Yeah. I think that'll be big though. Like if because he can run. If they're covering downfield, he's gonna have to use his legs.
And if you pay attention to what we've seen, and we got quarterbacks later actually. So, but pay attention to what we've seen from the Crocs down this stretch. You've seen that offense and him at quarterback specifically. The more he got to know, like, okay, this is what we're capable of. This is what we can and cannot do. He's a great decision maker, and he knows when. You know what? It's on me, and he's able to do that. I think if I'm going again to the offensive scheme for the Crocodiles, if I'm the Crocodiles OC and I'm thinking of like, how do we make this game different? One, like you said, I'm putting in motions. I'm moving people around. Two, I'm trying to create different angles. There needs to be more counters, more traps, more linemen moving, getting your running back in different angles to, again, force the Butchers linebackers to make the plays. Because I'm still 100% saying that, yeah, Jalen Todd is great, but you can get away from Jalen Todd. You can get a body on Jalen Todd, and then you're basically dealing with Zach Wright or Mickey J. Like, and I'm cool with that because that means I'm 6 yards down the field. And if I'm them, I'm trying to figure out ways to move the point of attack in our run game so we can get the ball to Sip. But then secondly, how do I make sure that Brandon Kyles is in a flow? He needs to be in a situation where he's comfortable in his throws, his reads are easy, but then also he always has the option of, you know what, just go and do your thing. Let it go. If you want to run it, run it. I like to get him on the move where, you know, he has a short option and a deep option. You know, he has a quick read. If the quick read isn't open, he can always run. And if he's not going to run or hit the quick read, there's a deep ball for Eustace Vertinen, and that's always, like you said, it's a one-on-one matchup. Like, I try to get him in those situations. I think something that I haven't seen a lot of them do is play action, which is kind of crazy. But I haven't seen like a lot of like hard play action from a team that runs the ball 30 times a game. They're pretty, like you said, it's pretty vanilla. Like, we know what they're going to do. Hopefully they've been practicing things to some mix-ups in there. But, again, I think against this team, you get a play action, you get a one-on-one with Vertinen or Jabril even on the backside corner. Take them chances. I feel like that's your best shot at getting up on this defense and getting them on their heels and making them more of a vanilla defense. If you don't take those shots, they're going to mix it up and figure out ways to get and slow down Ship the best they can. So, that's offense, Crocs offense versus Butcher's defense. Let's switch it over here in a second. All right, now let's flip it. Let's go Butcher's offense versus Crocodiles defense.
Butcher's offense.
Start where we start. All the way. All checks.
There is all checks. Whatever you finna say, Butcher's offense.
Oh, Butchers.
Butcher's O-line against. I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna say that. But,
yeah, I was like, there's one spot where I feel like we might have to. But overall, I think we can kind of agree to that. But let's start with the receivers. Again, this is mostly just so people can hear some of these names and go with that how they want to. But for the Butchers, you have Lucas Arela, Nate Robitaille, Miko Seppinen, Mickey J. Fung Nguyen has been coming in lately to help out. That's pretty much the group. No need to name anyone else. And then on the defensive side, defensive backs for the Crocodiles, we got at safety, Atu Tuoko, Oxley Sirianen, and then we have at corner, we have Juho Kasari, Atu Hekila, and they got another corner rotating in, Mika Cortisoya. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
What I think the Crocs secondary right now is going to be a really good secondary in a few years. I think they're going to be real good. They're getting a lot of experience right now, but there's not one person on that defense that can deal with Nathan Robitaille, Lucas Arrow at the same time. that's going to be a lot for them to handle. That's going to be a lot for them to deal with because there's nobody on that defense that you can double comfortably. You can't double anybody on their offensive line. I mean, their offensive group. So I think I know the Butchers receivers win this matchup because you're thinking 4 quarters, somebody is going to get open. Somebody is. I mean, like I said, you can go 2 routes. You can go to the deep route where Aaron B. Day is scrambling and he hits Luka down the field or Miko Sepinen down the field. And then you can go the route of Nathan Robitaille, who just can manhandle. He could catch a slant and go to the crib with it. We haven't even got to see him really catch fades. You know what I'm saying? Robitaille is going to win on the fades all the time. They're going to have more pluses than minuses. I'll say that. They're going to have more pluses than minuses. I think the Crocs DBs will be really good in a few years, but against this group, they're going to have to make some major plays. I'll just say that.
Yeah, okay. Y'all heard me last week. I did my best letting y'all know how good the Crocs are and how great I think they are as a team. They ain't got nothing for this receiver group. There just ain't a lot to say. Like, they just better. And it is no shade, no disrespect. Like, again, like you said, the Crocodiles defensive backs is probably one of the better secondaries in the league. Like, legitimately, they're good back there, but we got to keep it a buck. It ain't a lot they can do with this group of receivers. Like, it's just too much talent, and it was great seeing in the semifinals yesterday the first big play that the Butchers had was a pass to Miko Sepinen. I'm gonna call him Mickey. Yeah, Miko Sepinen. And then later in the first half, they had Mickey run the fade. They have Mickey J run the fade. He all of 5'0", just so you know. But he's that good. His ball skills are that good.
Not to mention, and this is no slight to these guys. Noah Choate, go back to that. Yeah. Noah Choate and Isaac Marshall would be backups from the Butchers. They would be backup receivers on the Butchers. And that's no slight to them. It's not. I'm just saying with this current roster, they would be backups. But look how they did the Crocs DBs. Look how they did them. So you thinking? Yeah, they're gonna have a chance. They didn't do that good against them. And I'm not saying Noah Choate. I think Noah Choate and Isaac Marshall are good receivers, but they would be backups on this current roster that the Butchers have. I'm just saying.
Every team's receivers will be backups against these guys mostly. There's only. Yeah. I'm trying to think now, like, who's actually playing in the league. What? Bryce Nunley could probably get on the field, and Logan Collier. That's pretty much it. Those 2 guys are only other receivers that would be able to be in the starting group on the Butchers receiving core. Yeah. And those are 2
But I'm just saying, the recent game, they had nothing to deal with Noah Choate and Isaac Marshall. They had nothing to do and deal with them. I can tell you right now that they're going to have more opportunities. Robitaille is going to get way more opportunities than what they got in this game. So they have to play way better than they did against Isaac Marshall then if they plan on beating the Butchers.
And that's the hardest part about with this matchup is, like, there's no way around it. We're still not even talking about the fact that you have to still stop the run. So you can't get no help. Even if you wanted to double somebody, you can't. Because if you double somebody, that man is still wearing number 15, which, moving on to the next position, Butchers running back versus Crocodiles linebackers. You got Christian Powell for the Butchers, switching sides, I guess, playing against Crocodiles linebackers, Seydou Jallo, Aki Sepala. This is how I practice my finish also. Anthony Sampa, and then also coming in sometimes you got Tuomas Yarvinpa. Seydou Jallo is pretty much the only guy that we, consistently see. He having a pretty good season too. Yeah. But Yeah, I think it. I mean, it's almost the same thing as the receivers. Like,
Yeah,
don't think you have anything for him. Like,
yeah.
yeah, this is
I
not
don't.
going away. I mean, I feel like we were on the other side. It was at least discussions. But this, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
You can't really stop him. And I want to say this one more time. I keep saying this. I'm gonna keep saying this. Watch how plays end when Christian Powell has the ball. He doesn't actually get tackled. He's always getting like pushed out of bounds, or it takes two or three people, and then they just stop the play. Like, have you ever seen a running back that really doesn't go to the ground? And like he's either scoring, getting pushed out of bounds by the defenders because they don't want nothing to do with him, or he's getting held up and they just blow the whistle. Like
yeah,
he got
yeah.
the freshest running back I've ever seen because that's ridiculous. But know what? I wouldn't want to do it. And good luck to y'all trying to do it.
And this is
Any,
the the storyline. It's nothing better than being able to play against your old team in a
I
championship
don't, I
game.
don't, I don't think, I don't think it's like that for him.
No, I'm
I
maybe
honestly
not.
think,
It's not like that for him, but you got to think about it. Imagine being the Crocs and watching a guy that you wanted to win a championship for win one against you. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think for
Like,
the Crocs,
so the
that's going to be the tough part. Or
yeah.
well, again, if it goes the other way, yeah, it will probably be. Yeah, it's going to be tough for somebody.
So it's going to
It's
be an
gonna be
extra
tough.
because you think Christian Day, whether or not he could have went back to the Crocs, I mean we don't know. Only he knows that. But the way that he's been playing this year, um, and just this story of man, we had some good times with these guys, but they're in our way right now. And I think this whole Butchers team want to get another championship, but not only that, they want to get Christian Powell a championship. So if you think about it, the Crocs having to match up against this O line and him, and then Aaron B-Day being able to run. Because this isn't one of those like, oh, let's stop Christian Powell type of campaigns. Like it's not even gonna matter if you do somehow corral him. You still have another 80% of their offense that you got to worry about. So,
True
you
that.
know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not even like you can go into this game and be like, "Whoo, this is like myself." I would hate to have to go against this offense because I'd be like, "Man, unless you got the personnel, it's gonna be like pretty much a wish me luck type of situation. Like if your
Yeah.
offense can't hit like theirs." And if your running back can't be productive like theirs in the past, and then you know what I'm saying, like they better pray for rain. That's all I can say. Is Crocs, pray for rain, Crocs. Just pray for some
I don't
rain.
think I don't think that's a good. And what's crazy is I think that actually works better for the Butchers because I think Christian Aaron B-Day and Christian Powell, even if it's wet, those two can still get loose. You don't
Yeah,
want that. Like the way that they run, you don't want that. But Deontay Sip, the way that he runs, I actually don't want it to be wet. So
yeah,
that's a little like, like you can tell how people run, like how they move their legs, how they change direction on which surfaces they would be good at. There's not a lot that those two Christians can't do. But yeah, I guess Christian Powell wins for the running back versus linebacker. But going O line, Butchers, O line, you got John Paul Flores, Socrates Siltakorpi, Yari Monanen, Joe
grave digger.
Siskanen. Yeah, Sauli Puustinen, that's your starters. And then Tomi Pirkala and Oskari Vatu, they get some time in there as well. And then if we go to the opposite side of the ball, Charles Akano, Tylen Riley Coleman, Luca Hietala, that's number 35. Samuel Lepinen, number 86. Isaac Berg, number 54. And a couple more names that get a little bit of time for the Crocs. Viljami Vitasari, Paivo Karjalainen, Mikael Kusisto. I don't know a lot of those guys, but I do know the first two names, Charles Akano, Tyler Riley Coleman, and Luca Hetela has had a good season this year, and Isaac Berg has been pretty good for them up front as well. But in this matchup, I mean, I think the Crocs technically win this matchup, but like
Yeah.
you said, I don't know if it is enough to stop the offense. Like I have a lot of faith in John Flores at left tackle. I think he can hold his own, but I think how the Butchers go about this will decide what happens on the edges against the Crocs because I don't know. Do you go tight end? Do you bring in Osco, number
No,
83? Do you bring in a tight end? Or do you say
no,
we're good? We don't bring
no.
in a tight end?
Don't bring a tight end. You let Charles
Leave it at 4
O'Connell.
wide?
You let Charles O'Connell be Charles O'Connell.
Mm.
But then that's where Christian Powell is your X factor because I would line Christian Powell up on Charles O'Connell's side if he playing in. I'll line him
And you say you block him?
like no, not even let him block him. Let him run upfield.
Oh, run away from him.
I put him on the side with Charles O'Connell. Even when we're passing, let him rush because every time if he gets by, I'm just gonna dump it to Christian Powell. Every single time.
Okay.
I'm gonna dump
So
it
you
every
make
time.
Charles O'Connell guard
You're gonna
Christian
screen him to
Powell.
death. They're gonna screen him to death.
Mm.
That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna screen him to death because if Charles O'Connell is just rushing up the field, Rob them just gonna screen him to death, and it's gonna kill him. Like it's an easy. That's how you stop rushers. That's how you stop them from making an impact on the game. You let them rush. You let them run up there. You run draws. You run quarterback draws. You run counters. You do stuff like that. It's so many options when you got a guy like that. If you want to slow him down, now he's so good. He's gonna get there. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna make some plays, but like in the grand scheme of it, him being so aggressive and him being that type of guy, Rob is too good of a coach to even let their offense be phased by it though. You know what I'm saying?
On the other side, though, you still got Riley Coleman. He's still coming in there too, though. Like you can't be screening both of them.
Hey, you'll see.
But honestly, it depends on what side they're on too, because I think Flores would do well against Coleman, but I don't think he's going to be going against Coleman. And I think if it's, let me look at I think it's number 50 that's normally playing like right tackle for them.
Right. Yeah.
Postman, I keep it 100. I don't think he ever wins that matchup against Riley Coleman. Like he just don't have the skill set. So, but with that happening, I mean, also, I'm okay from the offensive standpoint from the Butchers. I'm okay with letting Aaron B. run around.
Yeah.
He does his best work. I'm okay with letting him run around a little bit. Y'all don't have to block them all the time. Let him, like you said, let him throw. I think that'll work out for him. But I think like on paper, like those two on the D line, we give the Crocs that on paper, but offensively, that now we can get into like the coordinators. You got for the Butchers, offense coordinator Robert Johnson, and for the Crocodiles, we got defense coordinator and head coach Jamie Hill. How do you think that works out for scheme and philosophy for these two teams?
I think Rojo, and I've seen Rojo call a lot of offenses, and I think he already knows how he can beat them. And I'd be a fool to go against him because I've seen what he can do. You know what I'm saying? Played against it, coached against it. I've seen everything that he can do, and I think it'll just be. I think he's I would say light years away from their coach, but like as far as Finland, he's Yoda. You know what I'm saying? To offenses. So I think he's seen every front. I think he knows who he can take advantage of on the Crocs defense, and I think that's what he's gonna do. So yeah, I'm going Rojo all day on that.
That makes sense. Okay, last matchup we're gonna do. Oh no, we got two more matchups. Sorry, but this one because we kind of go around it mostly. But quarterback play. I guess who do we think is gonna have a better quarterback game out of Brandon Kyles from the Crocodiles and Christian Aaron B. from the Butchers, and basically just talk a little bit about why we think they're going to be able to do what they're going to be able to do.
I think they're both gonna have. I think they're both important for their team success. I think Brandon Cowles has a bigger hurdle though. I
Yeah.
think he has a bigger hurdle. I think Aaron Bide doesn't have to play great for them to win, but Brandon Cowles does. I think he has to play great for them to win in this game because Aaron Bide can have a 200 throw game, but in his 200 throw games, he throwing 4 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, so even if his yards isn't like that wild in that aspect, he'll still rush for a yard. He'll still rush for a touchdown or two. But Brandon Cowles has showed that he can run too, and that's why I said earlier his feet would be important in this game. But if I had to pick a quarterback out of those two, I'm going Aaron Bide all day. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he's just more equipped to run that offense, and he's shown that he doesn't get shook. He just go like he makes decisions and he goes with them, and usually he's not wrong. So yeah, I'll say Aaron Bide wins that one.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think Aaron Bide is going to have a better game out of these two. But just to play devil's advocate, because got to make it interesting. I I am interested to see what Brandon Cowles does.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I truly believe that the Crocodiles going to give this their best shot. And I think for them to do that, for them to, like you said, for them to win this game, Brandon Cowles has to be extraordinary. We have to see the best version of him that we haven't yet to see. And we've seen
Yeah.
some pretty good games from him, and it's no knock to that. But he's going to need to play at a different level for that team to win. And I'm interested to see how they go about it. Again, like we said earlier, they have a young guy as their offensive coordinator. Him and Brandon might be older than him. I'm not sure how old Altu is, but I know he's not older than 22, I think. He might be only 20. I'm not sure. But again, they have a young guy as their offensive coordinator. Jamie Hill is an experienced head coach. And you got this quarterback who I think is kind of coming into his own with the team and figuring out what he needs to do to be successful going into this week. How they decide to manage that is going to show up in this game. Like, are they going to say, you know what, lay it all out there, Brandon, do your thing? Or are they going to say, do your thing, but to this extreme? That's what I think. I think we're in a situation where if it was me, and again, it's not me, don't y'all forget that we're not making anybody decisions. If it was me, as soon as we won that game, I would have went to Brandon and said, come up with your game plan for next week. See you on Friday, buddy. Because there's just really not much you can actually do at this point that hasn't been done. And there's not much that you can do that's going to change the outcome of this game unless it's done by him. Like, schematically, there's not a lot that can be done to just, put your team in a better situation. But Brandon knows what Brandon can do. Only he knows what he's capable of. So there's things that can be done. And again, I don't even know these things, but I know he does. There's things that can be done that he's seen that he knows that will work against this team that they've already played once. He's seen film on them. He knows how to watch film. This is his full-time job. For the next week, he can come up with how I need to go about this in our offense and how we can win this game. What I need to do differently, how I can change certain things about our offense that we can make work. If I was him, I would get with the O-line coach, whoever that is, work on different blocking schemes to mess with what the Butchers do read-wise, and then go from there and show up and play balls out. 4-down football, too. I know that sounds crazy, but what's the point of giving the ball to them? It don't matter where you give them the ball. They probably going to score. So you might as well think 4 downs everywhere you go, which is easier football. Because now on 3rd and 3, I don't have to get 3, which gives you a different choice of what to do. And that's what I'm saying. I think that if I'm the Crocodiles, they need to go in this game saying what everyone says, just like the the Roosters meme, all or nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
It does not matter, guys. Like at the end of the day, when this game is over, the season's over.
Yeah.
There's nothing about this season that can be recouped. There's nothing that can be left on. Like you can't do this play later. You can't get extra time out. There's nothing extra you can keep. There's no plays that you can save for next year. No, everything is here. Now for the Butchers, you don't have that type of mentality. Honestly, you got expectations. Like y'all better win.
Yeah.
Like y'all can't go out there and just start making up stuff in the dirt because we're gonna look at you side eye. If the Crocodiles go out there, run 4 plays that make no sense, and turn the ball over, nobody gonna care. Like it don't make a difference.
Yeah.
But if they go out there, hand the ball off to Sip 3 times, get no yards, and then punt the ball, we're gonna be on them like white on rice next week. Because we're gonna be like, why you didn't show up? Like that's not gonna work. That's not how you play. That's not how you win a football game. So I really hope that they just kind of go at it from that aspect, especially with Brandon Cowles. I think that he might have some tricks up his sleeves that can help them win. Last matchup I wanted to do, this one was kind of for fun, is overall team strategy. We got head coaches, Crocodiles, Jamie Hill, Butchers, Marku Volksentorda. What are we thinking? What are we thinking from who has the edge in this matchup, with the experience, but also play calling, getting the team to rally?
I'm going to say this is equal, and I'm going to explain why I think it's equal. You got one who his team hasn't lost, right?
Yeah.
So in a certain aspect of that, he's used to seeing them over I won't say overcome, but like he's seen them be so consistent that you tend to forget that your team is still has faults and weaknesses. So I won't say he's doing that. I'm just throwing it out there. And then you have the Crocs coach who his team wasn't even necessarily supposed to be here.
True that. They're not supposed to be there.
So when you look at if they had to give out a Coach of the Year award, the Butchers coach wouldn't get it. The Crocs coach would, in my eyes, because he did something with that team that nobody thought they were going to do. So I think they both have positive impacts on their teams. One is the Crocs are relentless. The Crocs are relentless, literally relentless. They know they're not the most talented team. They know that nobody's giving them a chance in this game but themselves. So they have nothing to lose. History, like we always say, history repeats itself with the Crocs. The Crocs are the Buffalo Bills of Finland. It is what it is. Every time you get to the big game, you just find a way not to win it. It's just simple as that. It's just what's been happening every time. It's almost to the point where, like we said, it's a curse. And I hate to say that and I hate to put that on them, but y'all have letting people down so much that it seems like it's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
No matter who's on the team, it just seems like it's not going to happen. And but still, here we are. They're back in it again. They got another chance to. So it's like you want to cheer for them and you want to see them finally do it, but it's like every time I have did that, I've been let down. The Butchers, on the other hand, their coach is he's not seeing through them, but they're the last thing in the way of getting another championship. And I would rather be on the side of you're in my way than we have to find a way. Like I don't want to be on the side of like we gotta find a way. I want to be on the side of like you're in our way and we need to move you because we see something that we've been working all season to get. And it is what it is. So I'd say it's equal on that aspect, but just two different views.
Yeah, two totally different views. And just to add on to that, I think it's interesting because you say For the Crocodiles, they have to figure out a way to, get the win. And they just did that. And again, this is where I think people don't understand how exhausting this can be on, everybody, physically, mentally, mentally.
What's just happening? I don't know. Your volume just went out, though. I don't know what just happened. Can you hear me?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Nah, yeah.
I can't hear you. Hold up. Are you talking?
Yeah.
I can't hear you though now. God. Sorry, guys. My microphones are getting all weird for some reason. I honestly cannot hear anything. Usually I can hear
Well,
myself, but I can't even hear myself. I'll talk about it anyways, and I guess I can hear you. You start talking.
can
Oh,
you
come
hear
on,
me?
man.
Oh,
I'm over
no.
here. You still have
Somebody
battery.
hacked in. The Crocs done hacked into the chat.
But you can hear me. I just can't hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, unmute that.
Can you hear me now?
Say something to me.
Can you hear me now?
Nothing. Oh, damn it.
Man, you muted.
I forgot what I was saying too, because now I'm all focused on this.
Yeah, it just cut out. I don't know why.
Technology in 2025, man.
Yeah.
It was working fine.
What happened?
I see you trying to talk, but I can't hear a word you're saying.
Okay.
But my you can still hear me?
Still can't hear me? I can hear you.
But I can't hear you. I was almost wrapping it up too.
We're gonna finish. You finish.
I don't remember what I was talking about, but I know I was talking about the two teams, and I was saying something about the Crocodiles being exhausted from having to play in a game where you have to step up to the next level, and then you go to the next game, you got to do it again. And like what you were saying earlier, that's what I was getting back to is that that's not something that everyone has done. So like it's one of those situations of like when the adversity comes, what they did last week was great, but to do that again, and now look, we got to be honest, it's a better team. So not only do you have to rise to the occasion again, you got to rise even higher than you did. It's one of those situations of no matter what the coach from Crocodiles does, he's not sure to get that out of his squad this week. Like that's a lot to ask of anybody. While on the other hand, from the Butchers, you're not really asking for that. You're asking for a team to win a game they should win. And then you've seen that the Butchers as well. Like when there was a minute left in the game and they had to drive down the field, what they do, they drive down the field. They know that they know that's in them. Like their whole offense, you look at their offense and you're like, at any point in time, this team can score. So that's how you go game is we want to play well enough to play to our level. But if it come down to it, we know we have what it takes. While the other team is trying to figure that out throughout the game. That's just a tough spot for anybody to be in. But I agree with you. Like it's kind of like a push. I think both of these coaches have done a really good job. Both of them are preparing their teams for this game. It's going to be an interesting one. We had one more like segment thing, but I can't hear what you're gonna say. I don't like recording what you're saying either. If I can't hear you, then does that mean that the like podcast, like the actual broadcast, can't hear you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna pause this. Can we? No, I can't pause the stream. Hold on. I have old headphones that I'm gonna pull up.
Come back out.
I have to be able to hear you. Oh, he left. They're gonna leave. It just don't work the same. See, now that makes me think that it was Q's it was his mic or something, because now he's gone. And I don't know where he went. I don't know what I was talking about either. Well, we got a little extra time here on the pod. Since I have you guys and I can't hear anybody else, just want to let y'all know I am going for the Butchers. I'm wearing our last championship hats. Just pretty sure we're going to get a 2025 version this year. Excited to see them guys play at the Helsinki Bolt Arena. All right. And Q is back. Say something.
You can hear me? Can you hear me?
You hear me though, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that is probably my headphones. I'm going to send it over to you while I change headphones. Boy.
Here, everybody. Still biggest arms in the world. We're having technical difficulties. I don't know if y'all can hear me or not, but I don't know. I don't know if y'all can hear me or not, but where Jesse at? Jesse Aaron B. They ain't on here. Oh, he going to the game. He might be flying over here already. I was gonna say Jesse will be on here telling us if he can hear us or not.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm back in this thing.
Okay.
All right. All right. Yeah, buddy. I was using these damn Bluetooth headphones. They don't be connecting sometimes. I don't know. I ain't worried about it. That's all right. We just had a brief intermission. That's cool. All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we'll just jump into the last one because we're supposed to do special teams. I just want to talk about them quickly before we get out of here. We're almost done, guys. So the third phase of the game is always special teams. So we don't really get into the players, kind of just go over them and say who we think has a better unit in this game. So let's start off with the kickoff teams. I think it's a push. I don't think anybody's doing great on kickoff, and no one's doing bad. But kickoff return, I think the Butchers are better.
Yeah.
I think Zach Wright. At the game last week, they were on the opening kickoff. I look at who they have returning, and they have Zach Wright and Lucas Arela on the sides on the goal line, and then in the middle, Nate Robitaille, and then in front of him, you have Christian Powell. And then I think, all four of those guys on the same field. And then I really think on the sides of Christian Powell, I think you have Mickey J and Miko Sepinen.
That's wild.
They technically could put their whole starting skill players out there on kickoff return. Yeah. And they kicked it to Zach Wright on that too. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Why I wouldn't kick it to none of them. I would not kick it to none of them. But yes, I think kickoff return definitely got to be the Butchers. Punt teams, I think Crocodiles, only because I don't even know if the Butchers punt. I've only seen them punt twice.
You got to give it to the Crocs because the Butchers don't punt that much.
Yeah, I don't think they actually punt, so can't really beat that. Punt return, I'm giving Butchers again. I haven't seen the Crocodiles do much punt returns, do much with the ball per se. And then field goal teams, this is where it might be a push. Well, here's the thing with field goals. I think the Butchers have a better kicker because they have a kicker. That's what he does is he kicks. But I'm not sure that means that they'll make more field goals because usually when he kicks, it's a situation that they don't want to be in.
Yeah,
and they're not that successful at kicking. But with the Crocs, I feel like we've seen them get in situations where they have to make a kick and they like to do that. Like they try to kick the ball, but also their kicker isn't their kicker this year either. They're using Oxley Sirainen, and he's decent, but he's not a great kicker.
Yeah.
I give it a push, but I don't think either one of them has a great like. I don't want to see either one of these teams kicking field goals. Like
Neither one. Neither one.
Yeah, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I don't want to see any kicking field goals. And if field goal block, I say push. I think they both could block it if they want to, but I really think the Crocs have it because they blocked a field goal.
Yeah.
I mean, they technically blocked it. So yeah. So that's it. I think we'll do a quick break, and then we'll just talk about the final thoughts before we get out of here. All right, so we went through everything for the Maple Bowl. Got our Maple Bowl show in best way we could. We're not going to do the picks on here. We'll keep it to online, so y'all don't know our picks until the day of the game. But right now, pick'em rankings, they're the same. We just all went 1-on-1 last week. So Finland, Swami, and Ellie are tied in first. Chris is in third, Q is in fourth, and I'm in last. But I'm 30-10, just so y'all know. I'm 75%, and I'm in last.
Yeah.
Just like that's how good we really are at this. Yeah. I mean, it's not that bad to be last, but I'm 75%. So with that, let us know your thoughts about this game, how you think it might go without giving us your picks, and what are you looking forward to seeing in it?
Yeah. I would say we here, man. We had the last week, man. It's been another great season of just surprises, some not surprises, but it's always a bittersweet feeling when you get down to this part of the season where, the two of the teams are pretty much, lasted everybody else, and one has been the ultimate, top team all season, and the other one fought their way up, and they outlasted and beat who they needed to beat to put themselves in a position to be in this game. And either way, no matter what we say, there's always a chance that this game could go a totally different way. But we've been watching these games a long time. We've been watching these championship games a long time. So it's either way, I think it'll be exciting. I think it'll be a good game in the first half. But other than that, no,
You said the first half.
They're gonna talk noise about me, man. I'm just joking, guys. I'm just joking, man. I do want this to be a good championship game, and to all the other teams that's going to the game, like this is where you want to end up at, and you're seeing two teams with two different identities, and you can look at your team and see and look back on and see like the things that you missed and the things that you can get better at, and then you work on it in the off season to get to this point, because ultimately everything that's happening this season doesn't matter now. All the games you won before now don't matter. This game that's coming up is all or nothing, literally. So, it's been a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Again, being on here with my dog, man, and talking about you guys and giving the people at home and people in the States and all other. And we actually got fans in a lot of places. Like, people be reaching out to us and saying stuff, and I'm like, man, I didn't even know they like listen to it. They're not even living in Finland. They don't have any connection to Finland, but they just, like I have people like write me that's like picking teams. They're like picking teams and don't even watch the games. And I'm like,
what about this? Samuel Aspel from when we were having the technology problem, Samuel Astley was like, "Hey, it says Bristol Bullets."
Yeah.
That is not
wow.
Finland.
See, yeah, got to be UK though. So
yeah,
appreciate that,
Sam. But, guys.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's been good, man. This season, and I'm just happy we at this point.
Yeah. For me, I think this game, bittersweet. I like the storylines. The Crocs are back at it again. And then the Butchers, 2 years removed from just, getting back into the whole we're going to win championship race. They have a loaded team. It's good to be on the right side of history this year because I'm with them the whole time. So there's no reason for anybody to come at me this year. Also, we appreciate all the love we got for the Crocs getting the upset last week. That was real cool. I love that, how people come at us about that.
Yeah.
This season has been slightly different, and yeah, I'm going the same route that you went. Like the podcast has been great this year. This has probably been one of the best years. And he said he's also the O-line coach for the Crocs. Well, that
Crocs,
makes more sense.
yeah, I figured that. Yeah.
I was like, I've seen the name before, but okay, that makes more sense.
Hey, Sam, good. Congratulations, Sam. I know we be talking shit, but hey, congratulations, man. Y'all made it, man.
I mean, we only say good thing about the Crocs O-line, honestly. But again, the Crocs had a hell of a season, and we had them low at the beginning of the season. They proved us wrong. I do think it has more to do with who's actually on the team than what we thought in the comparison. Like, we just know. But this season has been really interesting from the fact that the podcast has been great. We've loved the engagement we've had. People have been talking to us like you said, from all over the world. People constantly asking us about the podcast, but also the actual football this year has been pretty good. There's been a decent amount of blowouts because we know certain teams just really shouldn't even be in the league, but there's also been development. We've seen teams get better throughout the season. This playoff run was pretty good. I like that we had that overtime game. No matter how it went down, it still was good for the culture. And then even like the changing of the guard with the Roosters, of them not being who – I mean, we said it going into the playoffs. We're not confident in the Roosters. That's like the first time ever on this podcast. We both said that. Like, we just don't believe in the Roosters. And that is a sign of growth. And that's what I really liked about this year was that there's been a lot of growth this year, even with the way things are done from different teams and the players, how teams are putting their teams together, how the Butchers put together their squad, how teams are doing their juniors. All that stuff is great. So it's really good to come to a culmination this weekend. Trying to remember if the game is on Saturday, we are probably going to just record on Sunday and call it a season. It makes most sense. Yeah, it makes most sense. So this is our almost last episode. We take 2026 off so we can go on about our business. So good luck to all the teams this weekend, to both of the teams this weekend. If you're not going to the game, turn it on Route 2. If you got comments, leave it on the gram. Make sure you subscribe, follow, like, and share on all social channels at American Football in Finland. Until next time, never forget
T
I
F.
We gone. Go Butchers.